Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. All these companies have something in common. They share our joy, sorrow, and even outrage. We live on these apps. But what would happen if your home had cameras watching every room, even the bathroom, even when you're in the dark? We are being watched all the time, and we need to learn why and how they are tracking us. How do websites even know we're not bots? In the past, people would just live their lives disconnected from the rest of the world. But now, if you trip and fall, no! Someone from Japan could be watching that video. But instead of somebody from Japan seeing that video, what if the police and your employers watch the video? Before we can talk about how surveillance affects us, we need to go back to 2012. Josh Pillot was just a kid playing RuneScape back in 2012. He had a few drinks with his buddies when he made the joke. The joke was he was telling players not to come to school on a certain date. The main issue with that joke was that the date specified was a Saturday when there was no school. Days passed and Josh forgot all about his gaming session. That was until the police barged in his home and arrested him. He was sentenced to 6 years in jail. This set an awful precedent. People can now be arrested over things they said in video game voice chats, even empty threats. It only makes sense that people fear being watched online. Cancel culture has been something that has been making people scared to be themselves. If you post something and a group of people don't agree with you, they will just attack you. The mental effects this has on someone's psyche can be damaging, and users will start putting up walls and being less sociable outside of the internet. Cancel culture has always been around. It usually involves a mass boycotting and public shaming towards people who did something slightly off from what they live by, or something they disagree with. Another thing I want to talk about is reCAPTCHA. This may seem like a simple way to prove that you're not a robot, but it's more than that. It's showing that a real person is on your website. This is a way for websites to track you to know what you're doing. They can see that you've been on this website. They know it's a real person, and they can track your IP knowing that it's you. It's just another way of online surveillance. It's almost like cookies, but hidden more because you think it's a way to show that you're not a robot. You know, now that I brought up browser cookies, let's talk about that. Now we're going to talk about browser cookies. So, do you know what browser cookies are? Browser cookies may sound like a cute name, but in reality, they're not. Cookies are small files that websites hold on to when allowed. This is so when you go back to a website you visited, it remembers where you left off. This sounds useful until you realize that these websites can and will sell your data to bigger companies. This is a huge privacy violation. When it comes to accepting or denying cookies on a website, it can be fairly simple. On most websites, you can either click accept or deny all cookies. Some websites will allow you to say what you want to give them, say private information, search history, but most websites will just say accept all or deny all. Sometimes deleting the individual cookie itself doesn't always fix the issue. You have to go into a deeper setting and click don't save my data. It can be pretty tedious, but that's the way it is. This might log you out of some websites, but at the end of the day, those websites won't be able to sell your passwords to bigger companies. And remember, cookies are only allowed if you allow them. If you press deny and they use your cookies, it's illegal and they will get fined for it. Cookies can also slow down your browser because after accumulating so many little text files of information, your system has to go through all of them in order to see what website needs what. Luckily, you are able to clear your cookie cache in any browser. It may seem scary to delete something permanently, but trust me, it's only going to make your life easier.
Gone. Reduced to atoms.
You see, the original goal of cookies still persists with people online. Like one participant from the survey said, they are different trackers that websites use to collect certain types of data, whether that be to run the website better or to know more about their users. But now cookies are more of an annoyance than anything. Websites that you log into will store your information differently than how cookies work. Example, if you log into a website using Google, then Google will hold on to your information, not the website itself. And you can manage your data directly through Google. Sure, you're still trusting Google, but they are held more accountable than the smaller companies sometimes. So it seems that cookies are more of a hassle than anything. Their original goal is kind of pointless, and some participants have heard the term browser cookie but don't even know what they are or what they do. People need to understand what they're doing online. What if you went to an inappropriate website and clicked accept all cookies? Then that store will keep that information that you gave it and they'll sell it, and now that's public. What if the website said, hey, remember that thing you bought last week? You should buy another one. Here, I have it memorized right here. Oh, you want to see it too? Everyone look at it. Look what he bought. He bought this one weird thing online. Mass surveillance isn't something the government is opposed to doing. Recent developments involving Anthropic and the US government revealed a lot about the possible use for AI in military and surveillance. Anthropic had some guidelines and that they would not be used for autonomous weapons or domestic surveillance. The US government, in response, declined their rules and guidelines and even canceled their contract with Anthropic. And they even are threatening to punish them through the supply chain. Most AI companies agreed with Anthropic's guidelines, including OpenAI's ChatGPT. But then OpenAI did a full 180 and accepted the deal with the US government without the guidelines Anthropic stated. At this point, we don't know what this will mean in the future of US surveillance, but people are really worried about what this means in terms of future war decisions and domestic surveillance. After this decision, ChatGPT daily mobile uninstalls spiked by 295%, opposed to the average 9% that they are usually used to. This shows that people actually care about their privacy and security, and will even boycott a service they used and switch to other models. AI is a huge issue in domestic surveillance and is not helped by these guys. These security devices are found all around America and can be found in most Walmart parking lots. These track every car in the lot, license plates, colors, and even the people in them. But these devices are starting to pop up everywhere. These automatic license plate reader cameras in Texas are starting to be released in Houston to the dismay of the community. And their community is not happy, but there's other people who aren't happy. Now we're going to talk about some of the survey results that I found. This survey was sent out to 18 people, and it asks their opinions about online surveillance and the use of AI for digital surveillance. Many people are worried about the future and current state of online surveillance. I sent out surveys to college students and young adults in order to see what they had to say. The majority of people were in their early to mid-20s, while there were 2 outliers who were in their 30s. We had an almost even demographic with only 2 more male participants than female participants. 77% of people thought their information on their phone was not safe or protected. And for the people who think that their devices are not keeping their information safe, they think that Google, YouTube, and Instagram are the ones that listen to the most. Most people said that all their social media apps are listening to them. More than half of participants said that they are not worried about being recorded or put online. For the ones that said they are worried, they stated that there are more influencers recording around them, and if something were to be posted to the internet, it would be devastating for their careers and it would stay on there forever. The majority of people said that they think that their employers will look at their social media posts, and for the people who don't worry about what they post, they said that they wouldn't post anything they wouldn't say in real life. There are plenty of real-world examples of people who did something bad that was on camera and had real-world repercussions. There was this one lady who threw a cat into a trash can. The cat was fine. But after that video went viral, people found her name, found her Facebook, and messaged her employers that she did this heinous act. She was then subsequently fired from her job. This is one of the good examples of somebody doing something completely awful and getting karma. I also asked people what stresses them out the most about social media, and I got a wide variety of answers. One person said, comparison and the need to be and look perfect in others' eyes. Another said, I think I'm worried about being too consumed by it and constantly comparing myself to other people I see. And another, staying on it for too long, wondering how I am perceived. For these participants, they became self-conscious about themselves when on social media. There's another group of participants who are stressed about being scammed, stalked, and tracked. Another sect of participants said that they don't like how long they are on social media for. The last group of people aren't really stressing about social media, but some worry about the next generation's problems with social media. Not really stressing me, but the overall effect it has on our generation. I also asked a pretty legal question about if people think that they should be arrested over things they said online. Most people said yes, but under certain circumstances. If people are inciting danger or threatening somebody's life, they should be confronted by the police, but not arrested. There was a loud minority of people who said no, because freedom of speech is a human right, or even hell no. A few participants stated that they don't know, or I would say it depends on the situation. When it comes to the use of AI and using it to monitor people online, almost everyone said that it is a bad idea. Most of them said that it was scary that the government would even consider using AI for surveillance. A small minority said that it is inevitable and that the government will use AI for online monitoring whether we like it or not.
I am inevitable.
One participant said it best: "Obviously, I dislike it. But what can I do about it? The government is still going to do that whether people like it or not." It's kind of sad that people are thinking that there's nothing they can do to change legislation. Another said, "I think using third-party AI systems just forces the government to establish fascist-like control over their people and prioritize money rather than people." Lastly, I asked people if they think that their data is worth protecting, and all but one person said yes. The positives and negatives that people said of being monitored online were: positive, stopping attacks or problems before they happen. Positive, it monitors individuals that could be potential threats to other people. Negative, I like my privacy and I wish it was more respectful, but people still continue to use online platforms even though they know they might be monitored. Like everything, there are positives and negatives, but in this case, I believe the negatives far outweigh the positives. Not really. Not really. Everything can have good parts and bad parts. Positives is a safety, but the major con is control over people and what they see and who can see them. A positive is it will increase our safety, but the negative is that we are always being watched. Positive, things like algorithms make my experience more enjoyable and tailored. Bad actors can't hide behind screens anymore. Negative, it just feels kind of invasive when they don't tell you that they're doing it. Our ability to find what we need, whether we want it, could be a positive, but is it worth all the damage? I don't know. Pros, stop cyber attacks before they can happen. Bad, the internet becomes more like a probate estate and many people are cut off from helplines if needed because of things like age and being declared they shouldn't have to see those things. Positive, child safety. Negative, censorship. Positives, a more tailored experience. Negatives, my data is now out there for everyone who can access it. In certain cases, it could be useful for fighting online legal activities, scams, CP, fraud, but for the normal populace, it can be invasive. Positives, if there is someone doing bad things online, it can be caught and taken care of. Negative, privacy of location, family, information that shouldn't be shared being exposed. Positives, increased safety and crime prevention. Negatives, loss of privacy and lack of control. Cases would be able to be solved faster, but it would cause people to rebel and find a way around it. In the end, people are wary about being monitored online, and who can blame them? And with the digital age of media quickly progressing into people being watched more and more, it's understandable why they think this way. From the government using AI to watch over its citizens, to our apps listening to our conversations, all of it is an issue that we all face. If we don't make less fuss about the issue of surveillance, nothing will happen. Turn off your cookies, acknowledge how much social media you use, and watch what you post. But remember, even though some people don't mind being monitored, one thing is clear: everyone thinks that their data is worth protecting. Well, except for this guy. I don't know what he was thinking.